Hi, so this is my first voiceover. The quality isn't very good. There's a storm going on right now. I'm recording it on my phone. I'm very, very shy, so I'm very sorry about that. So, I thought I'd talk a bit about the autism spectrum while drawing near from Death Note. I'm actually pretty sure that boy is in that spectrum. I am by no means an expert on this condition. I only know the basics of it and my own experience with having that diagnosis. I just think that it's something people should be aware of and not be afraid to talk about. So, what is it? Autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a range of neurodevelopmental disorders that include autism and related conditions. People with this diagnosis present two types of symptoms: problems with communication and interaction, and repetitive and restricted patterns of behavior and interests. Symptoms are usually recognized by 1 or 2 years of age. For example, I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old. Anyway, back in the day, there used to be 4 different types, if you will, of autism. You had autism, Asperger's, PDD-NOS, that's actually me, and childhood disintegrative disorder. Nowadays, the distinction between these 4 types is no longer made, and people are simply diagnosed with ASD, Autism Spectrum Disorder. Actually, a lot of people don't really like it when it's called a disorder, so you should probably watch out for that. Personally, I get it, but I don't really mind. It's very important to stress that everyone is different and not everyone reacts to this diagnosis in the same way. Having said that, I'm still going to list out the main symptoms. First of all, you have problems with interacting. I actually like to compare it to having a glass wall separating you from everybody else, in the sense that you can see and hear them, but everything is muffled and very hard to understand. Another symptom is getting extremely interested in certain things to the point that you can talk about it for a very long time. We are actually very guilty of infodumping, so I'm very sorry about that. People with autism also tend to be very sensitive to texture, sound, and light. Personally, I can't handle sound at all. But I'm actually very fascinated by textures, like to the point that I will run my hands over very different objects and textures, and I won't even realize that I'm doing it until people point it out to me. Finally, people in this spectrum tend to partake in self-stimulatory behavior, also known as stimming. It sounds dirty, but it's not. Common stimming actions include hand flapping, rocking, excessive or hard blinking, pacing, head banging, repeating sounds, fidgeting, and chewing. I chew on things all the time. Anything I can get my hands on. I don't realize it until people point it out. I've even broken pens because of it. Not everyone who stims is autistic, but most autistic people do it. There are actually a lot of toys made for adults that help stimming. You should definitely check it out. I'm include the link of a place that actually sells these things. It even includes toys made for chewing, and that's actually what I drew on Nier right there. He's chewing on a chew toy. Also, very important, sensory overload is a real thing that results from overstimulation. The symptoms are very different for everyone and depend on an actual level of overstimulation, but they can range from irritation to complete shutting down. Like, it can range from me being very irritated about how my clothes feel on my body, to me just shutting down and not talking to anyone, not reacting, not moving. This was my extremely simple summary of what ASD is like. I'm not an expert at all. This was just a very basic list of what it is. But if you have any questions, leave a comment here or drop me an ask on Tumblr. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the video, the drawing. Yeah, bye.